Yo, guys, so I know it's been a freaking while, but I'm back and I know y'all are confused why at the start of the school. Well, first of all, it's been quick as hell. I know people will agree with me because 2 months, I remember we used to have 3 to 4 months, but now it's only two. That's weird. But yeah, so I'm back and I actually changed my name. I didn't really change it, but I changed it. I removed the drip because I have a change of mindset. So I just put Kage and I'm glad that fit well. So I just wanted to tell y'all guys how y'all are doing. I know I've been going just like Corey X Kenton. But I hope y'all glad to see me. I'm glad to see you. I hope y'all enjoy my company for today. And this will be what if Deku was betrayed? Now I don't know if I did this or not, but if I did, this is a remake. But if I didn't, this is a brand new what if. Now my style of what if thumbnails have not changed because I have not been doing research or nothing during the years. I mean during the months of me being off. I just don't have a computer. That's why. But other than that, um, yeah, like and subscribe. I know I don't deserve it, but man, let's get to 1,000 subscribers and let's get into the video. All right, so in this AU alternate universe, Deku and Uraraka is actually dating, and Deku actually he haven't mastered it, but he's close to mastering. He has already unlocked float, smoke screen, and black whip. Now that's that's basically else that changed for it. Oh, and during the USJ, suddenly the LOV stopped, like not too much, not to make it suspicious, but stop targeting Deku for a little while. Nobody knows why, but yeah. So into the video. But while it's their 1 year anniversary, almost going to the second year of school of UA, Deku wants to surprise Uraraka with a gift, a promise ring, to promise that they will live forever on, and he will make her the happiest woman alive. Now, as he gets the ring, something surprising happened at UA. Let's check that out. Now at UA, anonymous person texts Bakugo and a picture of him, actually sending him a picture of him hanging out with the LOV and a text message saying traitor. Now, ultimately and quickly believing this, he went to go tell the Class 1A members. Now, when he tells the Class 1A members, they ultimately believes it, noticing that how did he get that power so fast? How could he get so strong? But that's what they failed to comprehend. Hard work. He trains every single day. But the thing that they don't know is about to happen. As the person anonymously sends the picture, he smirks behind the phone, now saying, "It's time." Now, as Deku gets from the ring shop or whatever, he comes back to UA. Open the door, he is knocked out, and then awakening in the secret basement. Only the Class 1A knows, and Aizawa, and of course All Might. Now, being there, Izuku and wakes up, and when he wakes up, he sees just darkness, and then what he hears is, "Why did you do it? Who really are you?" As he's questioning that voice and says, "Who's saying that? Why am I tied up? And who are you? As the light shines on the group of people called Class 1A, says, guys, what are y'all doing and why am I tied up? So as he says these questions, he says, it's not your turn to ask questions, nerd, said by the voice of Bakugo Koski. Now, as Bakugo walks up to Izuku popping his explosions, he says, now why are you the traitor? Answer me, you nerd. Now, as Izuku tilts his head and says, what? I'm not a traitor. You should know that already. I want to become more hero than anybody in this room. He says, ha, very funny. As he pops his explosion on his stomach, having 3-degree burns, he screams and says, stop it. Show me proof. As then he says, you want proof? Here, as he shoves the phone within his face. Alright guys, my bad, I had to do something. Where was I? Yeah, so after he shoved the phone within his face, he says, here. And Izuku sees the photo and says, wait, that's fake. I don't know how you got that, but that is fake. Please, trust me guys, trust me. As then all of them start to surround Izuku. And then Izuku suddenly sees Uraraka. Says, Uraraka, baby, please help me. Why are you on their side, please? He says, now why would I ever fall in love with a villain? I don't know why I ever loved you. You broke my heart. As then he slaps him and goes to Bakugo and kisses him. A French kiss, matter of fact. And his heart just broken. As he says, well, I'll take the promise ring though. It must have cost a lot of money. As then he says, you bitch. And then, with Bakugo hearing it, everybody hearing it actually, they starts to beat Izuku up with no mercy, with Kirishima having his hardening on, punching him in his ribs, breaking his ribs, Kaminari frying his brain, and with Jiro making him deaf, Momo creating multiple weapons to stab, beat, and hit him with. Anonymously, continuously going on and on with Izuku feeling every bit of pain he can. Most likely can't even scream anymore after a couple minutes. He's broken. Now, as Izawa walks into class, inside your UA, walks out UA dorms, he hears the screaming and immediately goes to the basement where he hears the screams. That he opens the door saying, why are you all being problem child? Tell me now. As his hair goes up, his eyes suddenly burst of red, and his cloth floats, making him imitating. Now, as then Bakugo shows him the evidence, and then he says, so, I should have known there was a traitor anyway, and I found out it was you. Let me call somebody. As he calls, All Might, telling him that they found the UA traitor. All Might, surprised and in anger because of the pain that's been going through months in school, he blicks over to UA dorms. Immediately being there to the basement, he found out his own successor. Surprised, more like shocked, and isn't angered, and punches Izuku immediately and says, you are the traitor? I should have known a quirkless person like you should have never gotten my quirk. As then people in the whole entire room are shocked, except for Bakugo. As he says, what do you mean, All Might? Well, I gave this brat my quirk. Allow me to pass my quirk down to generation to generation. Stockpiling quirk. Called One for All. As then all starts to rage. That's why you're strong? You did somebody else's quirk while we work hard to master our quirk. As he starts to beat him, Aizawa, Class 1A, and even All Might. This breaks Izuku's mindset, his body, even his soul to pieces. He doesn't know what to say right now. All he could think was just sadness, anger, and most likely rage. As then he says, as he can barely speak, he says, "I am not the traitor." As then Momo says, "I don't want to hear you speak," as he stabs him within the vocal cord of his neck. As then Izuku passes out, almost to pure death. He's close to a pinch of death. They throw him in the dumpster, rotting. As then they go tell Nezu, with him believing every single thing. He says, "Y'all made a good choice." Now, to Izuku. Izuku rotting in a dumpster for at least a day. He's almost close to death, more than you can ever imagine. Hold on, guys. Alright, my bad, guys. But yeah, so towards him, towards Class 1A and All Might, and even Aizawa informing Nezu that that Izuku was actually the traitor, immediately believed it. And when news goes around on the news and everywhere, suddenly LOV hears it, and even All For One hears it. Now with this going to All For One, he is suddenly enraged, with him screaming and with him pure mad. Everybody in LOV is scared to death. As Tomura Shigaraki says, "Master, what's wrong?" Izuku, "Bring him here." And then with the menacing voice, they immediately warps Izuku to wherever he is, with Kiryu knowing how to do it. But yeah, so with him warping them to right in front of the LOV members, you can see his blood, dried up blood. Some of his eyes is completely red. Chunks of his skin is off his body. Some of his toes are missing. His body's completely black, and him is close to death. As then he says, "Those people will pay. They will pay with their lives." As then Off One gives Izuku a ultra regeneration quirk, because that ultra regeneration keeps him alive along with machines. So he gives it to him for a quick 2 seconds with the regeneration quirk, immediately healing Izuku's body with him waking up. And then Off One immediately gets the regeneration quirk back. Needed it to be stay alive for a little bit longer. As he wakes up, he is confused, seeing the LOV members right in front of him, and even one for all his greatest enemy, All For One. He says, "Why am I here? I should be dead now. Gone." Hearing the anger in his voice, they're all shocked. It's not the hero that they knew, the true hero, Deku. As then All For One suddenly kneels as he's crying and says he's sorry. But y'all know his face, he can't cry, but you can hear the sobbing within his voice. Says he's sorry. This is the first time Tomura, even everybody in the rooms, hears some sobbing and crying, telling him he's sorry. He said, "What for?" "I'm sorry for not protecting you, son." As everybody goes quiet, Tomura, shocked, said, "Master, what are you talking about?" "Let me tell you and Izuku the truth." As then he starts to explain that he was a normal man. His quirk was Off One still. He lived for hundreds of years, having an immortality quirk. Ultra regeneration quirk, allowing him to have a longevity life. And During those years, he met Inko, as she had black, long, beautiful hair and green emerald eyes. And one day they fell in love and got married. But seeing through that, one day All Might suddenly fell in love with Inko. And as he wanted to get with her, he found out that I was his husband, wanting to kill me with the power he had during his master dying. He wanted to kill me. Now, with your mother just having you or being pregnant, you were still in her body, not knowing any of this. This is a couple years before I saved Tomura here, or Tinko, Shimura. Your mother was the niece of Tinko's auntie. What's her name? Tomura's grandmother. I mean, yeah, his grandmother. I think it's grandmother, right? But yeah, what's her name? Got the tip of my tongue. My bad, guys. Got the tip of my tongue. What's her name? Guys, just forget about it. Just act like I said her name already, because I forgot her name. But yeah, saying the name, they're shocked. So you're saying, as Izuku stands up, that he and I are related? He says, yes. Now I'm going to continue my story. Now, during the years, I have been recognized as a villain fighting All Might in his prime. I couldn't stay with you and your mother, so I had to hide away. Making sure you're saved, I kept surveillance over you through the years. Finding out that my son has grown and become the new holder of One for All, I had to come up with a plan, but I couldn't. I couldn't kill you. I couldn't murder you. I couldn't do anything. So after the USJ finding out that you were the holder, I couldn't let anybody, no one touch you. So, as Izuku says, so that's why the villains stopped coming after me lately. Yes. Now your mother is still not knowing that, still knowing I'm alive. I was giving you money, you and your mother money for the past couple years. It says, so mom knew all this time. She couldn't tell me because it was a secret. I'm the number one villain of the world. I couldn't stay with you guys any longer. And that's the story of how I was recognized as a villain. Your mother was alone through all these years. As he says, during the fights of me and All Might, Toshinori Yagi, I've got this mask on my face, hiding my scars from him. As he takes off his mask, seeing that his eyes, his nose, only his mouth and ears are intact. His eyes are gone. His nose is gone. As then suddenly Izuku comes in a rage of how this whole time he's been lying to me. This whole time he knew that he was the bad guy and not my father. Just being enraged. And as All Might took his quirk, he starts to glow red and black as everybody covered their eyes. He had a new appearance, his real appearance. His hair was white, his eyes were red. Just how All For One was. That was his real appearance. Seeing Izuku having his real eyes, his real hair, says, son, you finally awakened your quirk. Says, what do you mean? Well, I've looked at their quirk and I locked their quirk away. Being able is too powerful for your body. It says, so what is my quirk? It's called perfect copy. You're able to copy any type of person's quirk you see within a millisecond. And then he looks at Shigaraki and he copies his quirk basically, and he touches a desk and it turns to dust basically. As he says, so you copy my quirk. And then I start to look at everybody, copies everybody quirk. Dobby's, I see flares, blue flames. I see takes some of Toga's blood that he transforms into her. Just demonstrating that he has all their quirks. Well, copies all their quirks. It says, unlike me, you don't have to take anybody's quirk. You perfectly copy them to perfection. As it says, now, what are you going to do now, my son? She says, what we'll do. As he grips, god damn. As he grips the side of the desk, as it turns to dust, and he looks at every single body with his eyes glowing red. I'm going to kill the #1 fake hero. As all for one, Ahashi smiling, knowing that this might be the time that he goes back to his wife and the carnage can finally be over. Upon a month with Izuku training and mastering his quirk, things have a lot been going on. They're now in their second year, a month in, and things have been going smoothly for them. Things were at peace for them. They don't know what's coming next. They have no idea. Now, after a month, as I said, Izuku is ready. He mastered his quirk. He knows full well how to use it and what quirks he needs to get his revenge. Now, after time and time again, he came up with a plan just to lure All Might out of that UA dorm. Probably killed every single UA member, student, staff, especially that rat Nezu. As then he says, as he looks at LOV, he says, are you ready? As they scream, yes. Says, we are going to take down every hero today. Every fake. Everybody. UA and all. Burnt to a crisp. We are going to be known as people that make peace within this world. No more violence. No more wars. No more sides. Just equals. Not white and black. Not white and black, but gray. That's not how the world works. It's time for a new era to begin. LOV, we will make history. History shall. As they charge towards UA, causing destruction and mass chaos. All heroes will send out at the front as they see a familiar but can't catch the appearance of white hair and red eyes appearance. As he said, this is the day you and everybody will fall today. As Class 1A, Class 1B, everybody that has superpowers goes up to the front lines. Then says, Bakugo says, I don't know who the hell you are, Etskra, but you're going to die today. UA will not fall. Why? Because we are heroes. As everybody on the UA side gets fired up. And everybody readies their quirk. Well, today, you all will fall instead. Go! Charge! As everybody charges towards their own enemies, creating mass destruction in the city of Japan or Tokyo. Well, it's the same thing, Tokyo, Japan. The city was overrun by villains and heroes fighting, and civilians being carried out by the so-called villains. They were the one helping the civilians. They were the one evacuating the city. Some believe that this may be the change. But let's go to Izuku. As Izuku watches the fight in the Zerds with Tomura and All For One, he says, "So, son, when are we going to get into this little brawl? Right when I see a chance." As then he sees his chance, his arm, as he extends his arm suddenly turns into a sniper. As his hair grows down from his body and turns to a bullet form, he says, boom. As then he shoots snipe. As he goes down. As everybody hears the gunshot and the snipes scream before he dies. They suddenly see that the person did it. That white-haired, red-eyed person did it. Wondering who he is, as then his other arm flares up with blue fire, and as he shoots it at the heroes, it suddenly burns them to a crisp. Hearing the screams, All Might is enraged, charges at All For One, and as he extends his arm, he blocks the punch with a barrier that Nine uses in that movie. Yeah, that's the barrier. As it says, "Is that all you got, All Might? Or Toshinori Yagi?" As then he kicks All Might back down. As then he jumps down from the building, landing with a crater being beneath his feet. He walks towards All Might with every single step shaking the earth. Boom, boom, boom. That's all you can hear with fire flaring up behind him. Blue fire. He said, "This is the day you fall for my father, Hayashi Midoriya." Says, "Young Midoriya, that's you? You're the son of that prick. You tried to take my mother from me and my father." As All Might says, "She's gonna be mine. She is mine only. After this is done, me and her are gonna have a special time together." With this being said, you can feel the bloodlust of Inko. You can feel the bloodlust of Izuku and All For One as he jumps down from the building, creating a huge crater. As they both say, "You say what? This is the day you die." As both of them raises their arm, creating a huge air pressure within the air. And as they charge to All Might, all the heroes trying to distract them, they all flew away. All of them knocked out of the bloodlust they're releasing. Everybody stands back as All Might and All For One and Izuku charge at each other. They collided the punch, but there's a downside. After the collision, a big boom happened. And after that big collision, after the light suddenly disappears, you can see a hole inside All For One's body and a hole in All For One's stomach. All of them are silent as All For One and All Might falls down in death. Seeing this is shocked. Izuku runs over to his father with him being over 15 minutes away by the collision. He says, "Dad, no. No, not you. I just met you. Not you." As the LV members surround them as Kurogiri warps them to their base. As then, only with a few moments left, All For One said, "We got him, Izuku." As he coughs down his blood, "We got him. And say hello for your mother for me. I love you both." Tomura, as he looks towards him, he says, "Yes, father. Look over your brother." Well, as they have a brother bond, as then he dies. With that, All For One transported his quirks to Tomura with his hair becoming white and his eyes becoming red. As he says, complete the task, the mission that we were meant to, that we all wanted to have. Now, as the LOV members, enraged at their master, doing the one that wanted to make the world a better place, people thought wrong of, died. They all wanted war. War. That's the one thing on their mind is war. As Izuku looks in the air, as he sees it starts raining, a burst of red aura comes from his body. His hair grows longer. As he raises his hands, the fire became a more reddish gems around his neck. He glares at the LOV members and says, "It's time for the heroes to fall." And that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, for What If Deku Was Betrayed, the movie. Now, if I want a two-shot, then y'all can comment that down within the comment section. And y'all can subscribe, man. Now let's get it. Kage is out.